from Sun TV, broadcasting to the world from studios in Providenciales, in the beautiful by nature Turks and Caicos Islands. Sun TV, your source for real news as it happens.
I'm Leslie Garland, and thanks for watching. After spending $40 million on the expansion of the runway at the Providenciales International Airport, the Turks and Caicos Airport Authority and the Tourist Board alike were expecting to facilitate larger aircraft as well as attract transatlantic flights. After more than a year has passed, Director of the TCI's Tourist Board, Ralph Higgs, identified the cause of the problem and gave Sun TV a solution.
Following the recent expansion of the Providenciales International Airport, the Tourist Board, along with our partners, have been doubling our efforts to make the destination very visible in the marketplace. It doesn't help, however, that there's a global recession. There's still tremendous interest in Turks and Caicos from Europe, from Asia, from South America. And I want to assure the public that as soon as there is interest, sustainable interest, that can justify a flight from these destinations, you will see airlift further airlift from Europe and airlift from South America. We have on the ground as we speak a number of UK travel representatives, travel experts. Next week we will be hosting a group from Italy. The following week we'll be hosting a group from Russia. I think this is clear demonstration that the Turks and Caicos remains popular, but I think not having a flight on the ground at the moment is in part due to the tough economic conditions globally.
When asked about the challenges that the TCI faces when it comes to attracting additional air traffic, Mr. Higgs said this.
No, I don't think there are challenges beyond economics. If we were able to provide support, financial support or subsidies for a number of these carriers, we can have a carrier on the ground as early as next month. But the economic conditions are not such that we can provide financial support. So we are taking steps to increase awareness of the destination, educate travel professionals on selling the destination, and grow the demand that way. I believe that once the demand is there, a flight from an additional flight from Europe or an additional flight from South America will be sustainable, and you will see it happening momentarily. Subsidies and grants are not sustainable. I think if we increase the awareness, that will be the most sustainable way of having an additional flight from these transatlantic destinations.
The Turks and Caicos Islands are perceived to be a high-end destination and a very expensive one in terms of what it costs to get here compared to our neighboring countries. Mr. Higgs said that this is not considered to be an obstacle when considering additional airlift.
No, I think it is no secret that the Turks and Caicos is one of the destinations that are seeing continued growth, even in the face of these tough economic times. I think we are pursuing the right demographics for our destination, and having a boutique type of a destination or a luxury destination has helped us to weather the tough economic times even better than many of our neighbors. So I think we are rightly priced. However, I'm one who would like to see a little more diversity in the accommodations plant, and I think if we were able to achieve that, there will be room for even more growth in the tourism sector.
After speaking to what he called an economic issue, Higgs told us more about the marketing of the island nation.
Some may say far too small. It is challenging. It is just under $3 million. That small amount of money is used to run the entire operations of tourism from the government perspective. It takes care of our overseas operations, it takes care of our human resources element, and it takes care of our marketing and promotions. I can add, however, that it is probably a period when our budget we've had to be very, very strategic and very focused. And that has enabled us to spend money wisely and do things that are much more cost effective and keep the destination relevant. So $3 million is small, but it forces you to be creative and forces you to think outside the box and forces you to pursue the greatest return on investment. And I am pleased, I think the public is generally pleased that notwithstanding these tough challenges, tough economic times, we have been able to show growth in the face of budget cutbacks. I think if you were to check with the Caribbean Tourism Organization, to which most of the Caribbean destinations, if not all, are members, I think Turks and Caicos' budget will be lacking when compared to almost every destination in the region. Yeah, we probably have the smallest budget, but I think we like to say we get the greatest return on investment, so that is the upside to that. Well, I think that is a matter of public record, and if you were to do your research, you will see what the budget was years ago compared to where it is now. I think the reduction in budget was not one that was desired by anyone. It was just where the country's finances were and where the global economic conditions dictate. So while the budget has been cut, as I said, and while we would like to have more funds at our disposal, I want to assure you and assure your viewers that we're being as focused and as targeted and as strategic as we can be with the funds we have at our disposal. Well, I think it goes without saying that if you have more monies, you can do more things with. But as I said, less money forces you to think outside of the box and forces you to be more creative. Recently, we entered into a relationship with a team in Brazil, and they will be here in October on familiarization trip of the entire country. And this will be our representatives on the ground in Brazil. And this is done without a lot of funds up front. We have to come up with creative ways to make it worthwhile for them and for us. Had we had a lot of money, we may not have been as creative in our thinking as we were forced to be on smaller budgets. So I don't want to send the wrong signal that we wouldn't like to have more funds, but I would like to reassure persons that with the limited funds we have, we are being as creative as we can be.
Many resorts here in the TCI record lower arrivals during the summer period. We asked Mr. Higgs what the tourist board will do to avoid that and got this answer.
Well, I think because of our location geographically, and you will find that most of the Eastern Seaboard has seasonal tourism. South Florida is no different. You will find that we may be able to increase our numbers slightly during the summer months. But during the summer months, the weather is good up north. People want to go fishing, they want to go camping, they want to go driving and seeing the countries. So it's natural that there's a decline in numbers for the Caribbean, the entire Caribbean and South Florida. And because we are in the hurricane belt, if there's any talks of a hurricane in the region, that also has a damper on arrivals. So we are going to do everything we can to increase awareness of the destination, and I think if we increase awareness of the destination in the right markets, we may be able to make tourism less seasonal to Turks and Caicos. And we have embarked some time ago on reaching out to the Brazilian market and the South American market. I think if we are able to grow that market, you will see further decreases in the seasonality of tourism to Turks and Caicos. As you probably know, Brazil has an opposite season. When it's summer in Turks and Caicos, it's winter in Brazil and far South America. And people want to leave the winter climates of these countries, and I think Turks and Caicos will be a natural for them. So it is really incumbent upon us to increase our visibility in these markets. It's a combination of a number of things. I think the continued economic challenges in our source markets. We had a little incident early in the year with the virus, the norovirus. We had some industrial matters, and it is a combination of a number of things. I think the one that had the greatest effect, or is continuing to have the greatest effect, is challenging economic times.
This is Sun TV, real news as it happens. We'll be right back.
Carambola Grill and Lounge on Airport Road is open 7 days a week for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We have the largest and most affordable menu in the Turks and Caicos Islands. Carambola offers an excellent blend of local and international dishes in a fully air-conditioned and relaxing environment. Dining at Carambola is always a moment to remember. We also offer free shuttle service from hotels, full catering, and event planning. Plus, free delivery for 10 orders or more. Just call Carambola at 946-8122.
The Progressive National Party invites all members of the public to its first National Policy Forum at BRAYTON Hall, British West Indies Collegiate, Saturday, September 29th, 2012, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We invite you to come out to listen to the keynote addresses by PNP Election 2012 All Islands candidates as they address the issues affecting our people today and present their plans for the future of our nation. Attendees will have the opportunity to participate in question and answer sessions following the presentation. Presentations include jobs and the economy, education and the empowerment of our youth, healthcare and social policy, immigration and labor. Admission and registration will be free of charge. Refreshments and snacks will be served. For additional information, please log on to our Facebook page, Progressive National Party, or call 331-4767.
The police here in the TCI are cracking down on delinquent drivers. And on Thursday, September 27th, 70 people were brought before the court. Kevin Clark of the Royal Turks and Caicos Islands Police Force gave us more in this report.
Yes, what is happening here today is we have quite a number of persons who have been charged for driving vehicle without insurance, which is a serious offense here in the Turks and Caicos Islands. You have a lot of persons who are driving their vehicle who probably never had their insurance or haven't renewed their insurance, and the traffic department wants to enforce that and also send a message out to everyone that their vehicle must be insured. It is important that your vehicle are insured, because if you're involved in an accident, you might need your insurance to cover whatever liabilities that may have come out of it. So the traffic department have been over the past few weeks enforcing that law, and we want everyone in the Turks and Caicos Islands to know that the fine can go up to $1,000 for driving without insurance, and also you can be suspended for up to a year from driving. Well, it's approximately 70 persons out here this morning, according to the sergeant who's in charge of that department. Well, no, it's not unusual. We have it just to show you that a lot of persons are not adhering to the laws, the traffic laws, and we have to enforce it. We need to enforce it. It assists that person who's driving the vehicle and also another person if an accident happens. So it is important that persons get their insurance up to date. Well, yes, I will blame them, because it is up to you as a person, you know. Once you get a vehicle, once you own a vehicle, you must have a driver's license. Your vehicle must be licensed, and it must be insured. That's the law of the land. You have to adhere to it. There's no excuse for persons driving on the road without insurance. There's no excuse for a person driving without a driver's license or their vehicle not licensed. So if they think that, if they believe that because the police are not manning the road enough, then they're wrong. I can't say it's only jitney drivers. As you can see, it's a mixture of different persons, and looking at the people up there, I can't say if they're jitney drivers or not, if they're jitney drivers only or not, rather. But you know, anyone, there's no one above the law. Anyone, whatever you're driving, you must be up to par with the law. Well, within a month within a month. Once a person has been identified by the officer, who the officer then take the relevant information from that person, and within a few days they're served with a summons to appear before the court. Normally it takes a month because you have to give them time to appear to court. I've known in cases where vehicles are confiscated from persons who will probably commit other offenses. Sometimes we have persons who the police may stop and they run and leave their vehicles, so those vehicles are taken to the compound. Yeah, they will be asked to park the road, because once it's on the road, it's illegal to be on the road. So once you're stopped by the police officer, the police will ask you to park it. They will ask you, they'll let you know you're going to go to court, and in cases they have asked you to park it or get a tow truck to come and take it away. Yes, at times police would have to, go back and look for them. Once a person has been served with a summons to come to court and they don't show up, then the court then send out a warrant for them to come into court, and so that they can give reasonable grounds as to why they did not show up, and then the court deal with them from there. The worst case scenario, persons normally get charged like $500. So instead of the maximum, which is about $1,000, they're fined $500 and suspended for 6 months instead of a year.
So there's no likelihood of imprisonment here.
No. There are times where you have I know of times where persons have been suspended from driving, and then they're caught driving after that. Then they can serve some time in prison for that.
As a part of what he calls his duty to the people of the TCI, Governor Rick Todd has for the past few weeks been traveling around the islands to hear the concerns of the people. One of the islands that he has visited recently was North Caicos, where it is said that there seems to be an inadequate amount of medication for residents there and on neighboring islands. However, Governor Todd dismissed those rumors.
Sometimes people get misinformation. I mean, for example, I was told on Little Caicos that in the North Caicos clinic there are no drugs at all, and the only treatment you are ever given is ibuprofen. When I went to North Caicos, it's clear that that's not true. The North Caicos clinic is working extremely well.
That's our Sun TV news package for Thursday, September 27th. Until next time, when we bring you more real news as it happens, directly to your computer, your mobile phone, or your tablet. Until then, I'm Leslie Garland, and thanks for watching.